Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this Durga Puja look, and if you do, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. আর আমার বাঙালি বন্ধুদের জন্য যারা দুর্গা পূজাটা পালন করে থাকো তাদেরকে দুর্গা পূজার জন্য অনেক অনেক শুভেচ্ছা. So the first thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use Nivea Men, and this is going to act as my primer. For the foundation, I've picked my paint sticks by Kryolan. The first one is Chinese that I'm going to be using. As you can tell, this is really dark for my skin. However, it's going to help me hide all my hyperpigmentations. The next color that I'm going to be using is in the color Oriental, which is a little lighter than the shade that I've just applied. And the next color that I'm going to be using is an FS46, which is a little lighter, but it's going to help me balance all that dark tones, and it's going to marry the color very nicely. And it's time for blending it all together. Now it's very difficult to find the perfect shade when you're using Kryolan paint sticks, so you kind of have to play with the colors. I always like to use a flat brush to blend the paint stick colors together, and it is a very full coverage. Now to set everything, I'm going to be using a mix of translucent powder by Kryolan with the Ben Nye Banana Powder. This helps balance the whole base together, and it also helps hold all of that foundation together. These are one of my most favorite powder when it comes to setting bridal base, because they are so professional and so good in terms of holding the makeup for long hours. I always like to bake the under eyes, and then I like to dust off the excess powder sitting on my face. Now using FS38, which is the cake makeup, I'm using a damp beauty blender to take it from the pan and then dab it on my skin. Don't try to swipe it, you're going to take off the first layer if you do so always try to dab it. Now it's time for polishing, and for that I'm going to be using NC42 Max Studio Fix powder, and using a flat kabuki brush I'm going to apply that all over my face very evenly, and make sure you're very light-handed. To contour, I'm using Studio Fix powder. This is the Studio, oh my gosh, I can't speak. This is the Studio Sculpt powder, and it is in the shade Dark Deep. I'm going to contour everything of my face using this color except for the nose. Next, I'm going to be using Benefit Hoola bronzer. I always like this shade, again, to contour the cheeks. It kind of gives that balanced tone between warm and cool tone. This is the reason why this is one of my favorite bronzer when it comes to contouring and at the same time bronzing my face. I love using this color for the nose contour. So this color is the best because it's kind of like gives you that warm plus cool tone, so it creates the kind of like a shadow look instead of being a very orangey contour. Now I'm going to blend all of that contour line so there's nothing so harsh on my face. For blush, I'm using Just Pinched blush by L.A.Girl. I love this blush color, it looks so stunning. Now for highlighter, I'm using Saleha Beauty's highlighter. This is, I believe, I'm not too sure actually, it's called Hollywood Gold or something like that, but I'll definitely double check and put it down on the description box. It's one of my favorite highlighters actually. And now onto my brows. For that, I'm using Kiss New York brow pencil in the shade Granite, and the color of this Granite is just so perfect, and it matches my brows absolutely perfectly, on point with the color. And like always, I have a detailed video of how I fill in my brows. I will link the video below as well on the description box for you guys to have a look, but it's a pretty straightforward thing. I like to fill in my sparse areas, and then I like to go with my spoolie and brush it out. Now I'm going to use the FS46 as my base for my eyeshadows. I always like using this as my eyeshadow base because it holds the colors really well together. For eyeshadow palette, I have the 350 version 3 of the Morphe new palette. This is actually beautiful. And the colors that I've used from this palette are very straightforward, and I'm showing the colors as I'm doing them anyway. I do want it to have a little bit of that dramatic effect for the Durga Puja look, so I'm going to go with the really intense bold colors. And now, you know what, I always like to start off with a dark color on my crease, and then I like to kind of blend it outwards. But today, instead of blending outwards, I'm using another color to make it look like it's more blended, but I'm using shading technique. And now I'm going to highlight my brow bone using that same highlighter, and I'm going to now blend those two colors together. Here I'm trying to create a half cut crease look, so I always like to put that concealer on my eyes and then kind of look upwards, so you can see that line that comes on the top, and that's the line basically. I know that that's exactly where my crease is going to touch when I open my eyes. This way you don't transfer the color onto a different area once your cut crease is done. And you can see I'm using a bronze color on my brow, on my lid. And now I'm going to do the outer corners using this beautiful like reddish brown color. And I always like to dab the colors, as you can see. Once the color has set on the lid, I then like to swipe it out and in, but when I'm placing the color, I always place it in a dabbing motion, so I get the most out of that eyeshadow. And using the same highlighter, I'm also doing my inner corners right now. And for my eyeliner today, I've used something very different. I've actually used the Sephora eyeliner, their liquid liner, and honestly, I love the tip of this liner. Like, it was so thin and it was so beautiful because it like helped me work, you know, like create that fine line, and it was just so much easier. And here I'm using a black eyeshadow to kind of smudge the outer corners. I actually like this look a lot because it's not like I'm creating a, you know, wing liner and stuff like that. So this look is perfect for people with hooded eyeliners. Even if you have a hooded eyelid, this liner look is just perfect even for people with my kind of eyes, hooded or whatever, because you don't see a definite liner or wing liner going upwards. You just see it like kind of blending it into your eyeshadow, which is perfect. Now I'm going to draw the rim using Marc Jacob black eyeliner. And I always like to, for this look, I made sure it's like intense dark, and I have the eyeliner on the top waterline as well. And then I'm going back to my liquid liner and creating that inner arch kind of look. And for my eyelashes, I'm using Morphe lashes in Hypnotics. I'm gonna quickly do the other eyes and I'll be right back. And now I'm using this little like glittery eyeshadow, which is something I wanted to use, and I'm using a smaller pointed brush to sort of dab that color into my lid, and that is the final look of the eyes. I hope you guys enjoyed this eye makeup look. Now it's time to move on to the lips. Durga Puja makeup is very incomplete without red lips, and that's why I'm going in with my favorite lip liner. This is actually in the shade Cherry by MAC Cosmetics. Moving on to my lipstick, which is also my favorite. This is the iconic Ruby Woo by MAC Cosmetics, and this is beautiful. And look at that red color. I'm just intensifying the outer corners using the cherry lip liner. And that basically is the final look, guys. So I didn't do much to my hair. I let it just down and that was it. And I'm popping in some jewelries. I don't think for Durga Puja you want a very structured hair look. I like it a little bit of messy hair look and keeping it natural. That kind of gives me that whole Bengali effect. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. And this is one of my favorite look I've created. The photos have been posted on my Instagram if you want to go there and give me some thumbs up and love and like my photo. And all the details of the product will be listed down below on the description box. Please go ahead and check those out. And thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time on my next video with another look.